Yo guys, welcome back to another video. And yeah, low-key, it's kind of interesting how I posted the video yesterday and then of course a new video today. And yeah, the reason for this is of course because of Rio. And yeah, she just does a lot. So her having bleed detonation right here, as you can see, bleeds for 200% of the bleed damage is so stupid. And yeah, paired with Sukuna, and of course, yeah, that's just doing a lot, you know what I mean? So yeah, the team is pretty much the exact same as yesterday. It's just replacing Brook for Rio. And if you guys don't know how to get Rio, you of course go into the summer event. You find the Rio NPC, start her trial, and then you get the tier 1 portals. They are called what are they called again? They're called Severe Ruins Trial. You get the tier 4s, and then 30 portals, that is the PE for Rio. So yeah, once you do 30 portals, you'll get her secret pool and then you can get her from there. But if you don't know what Rio does, you can just read, okay, here I'll leave it on the screen. So yeah, pause to read the passive. But yeah, what's nice about her, she got like splash, so she's basically doing damage to a large portion of enemies, like a group of enemies within a 20 range. And of course, you got the follow up, you got stuns as well, it's very nice. So it's gonna be very nice for this team, you know. You got basically stun, slow, insane DPS, and of course Kafka through Chloric Stone, giving a lot of damage as well. So let me just place this team into like a random team. So let's go out right here. And yeah, let me rename this to Lorek Kafka, so those who see this can actually know what I'm saying. So this is what we're going to be running. So of course Sukuna with this burb right here, and his own Vanguard familiar with Contagious. Contagious is important for him. I mean his what's Vanguard familiar? His own Vanguard Memorial, and yeah, Contagious is important for it. And yeah, for our irons we are running C1 Chopper, because if you guys don't know, on Aura of Despair, it is a full AoE attack, so you can pretty much use him to apply a full AoE nullify. It's just nice to have, you know. So you of course give him the both the passion spells, and you're fine. And we're running Unlikely Doctor on him, so he gets 2 free upgrades. In most maps here, it gives him enough range so he can cover like a decent amount of like the path. And then for Albedo, I got a Marksman, and I did give her a Fu Familiar, and of course her own Memoria. Her own Memoria is important because you're giving an extra bit of damage to your allied units that have affection on them. And then you can see for Speedwagon, we are running this Yuruzu right here with Unlikely Doctor, Jack of all, the Jack of all trait. And then for Rio, you want Deadeye on Rio. And then of course I'm running a crit burb. You can see 24% crit chance and 40% crit damage, and very high range, which is very nice for her because she's a full AoE unit, so that's very nice to have. And then Sukuna's Memorial with of course Deadeye on it, that is very important as well. And then Alucard with his own Vanguard Familiar and Enthusiast Walk with Contagious. You can run Enthusiast Walk with Jack of All or Divinity if you want. And then our Caloric Stone unit is Kafka, and as you can see, I am running a solo one. If you haven't checked the video out yesterday, I'll bring it up on screen of the each different SPA that you need for Kafka. So let me bring it up right now. Give me a second. Okay, so as you can see, if you have a Monarch, Solo, or Marksman Kafka, these are the SPA like range you are going to be running. So if you have any of these SPAs, like the percentage for your stat, just give them to your Kafka. And you want the stat to be either 7.9 to or 8 SPA. 7.9 is ideal because you want it to attack like, if you want to get like a late 7.9, it can attack straight after Sukuna, and that's the reason for this SPA. Originally, we had a 6.7 SPA to maximize the amount of like, to get the follow-ups as quick as possible. But now you want her to be in sync with, of course, Sukuna, because if she attacks before Sukuna, she's basically detonating nothing. If she attacks like way after Sukuna, of course, won't be hitting that maximum DOT damage. So yeah, you want to make sure she's attacking like straight after Sukuna. That's why her SPA has to be 7.9 or 80 seconds. And in terms of what I am running on her, you got Sukuna's Memoria with Divinity. If you have Jack of all, Deadeye, whatever you want to run is fine. And then the Doctor is going to be a C3 Doctor. So that's pretty much a team setup. And if you guys haven't seen McCreepus's video, you can check it out as well. He pretty much ran the similar team, just I think he kept Brook into the team. So there's a lot of team variations you can do using, of course, Rio, Kafka, and Sukuna as the main 3. You can do a lot of things, but yeah, you can see in this one we have Albedo for, of course, Irons, and there's a lot more we can do with it. So it's a lot of like different team compositions you can run with those 3 main units. And yeah, let's just get into the actual sandbox testing, and I'll show you what the DPS is for this team. Okay, so like as you can see, our tier list maker pretty much was not gonna rank Riyo originally because she was bugged and she was doing more DPS than Sukuna by herself, which is crazy. But you can see with this man it was doing 20 more DPS, and then now it's 3 million DPS and a lot of shit now. And yeah, Riyo right now on the tier list will be ranked third in utility and was that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, seventh on DPS, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, for a mythic unit, she's very crazy and she's a must get in my opinion. So make sure you guys go do your portals and get ASAP. But yeah, now we're in the sandbox. Let me show you guys why I'm gonna be testing. Okay, so first things first, we need to make sure we get our 40 kills or 40 bleeding enemies dying within Sukuna's range. So, well, I'm not even on Sukuna's form group now. Let's do this. Skip cutscene. There we go. And the two valves we are going to be using for Sukuna is just these two. Normally I do run this one, but you lose a lot of damage and there's like less buffers in his team, so his base damage won't be as high. And of course, since he's the sole unit and sole DPS, I mean, I don't think the 30% amp is doing much. I can test both as well, but I'll test both and I'll put the numbers on screen once I have like, you might know the notepad format, like before, like last time, where I had like the numbers over here, I'll put them on screen as well. See, we got those numbers in, the kills in. Let's just, oh, I need to wait the 60 seconds to disappear for that damage bar to go. We'll get Albedo here, we'll get this Riyo here, and we get 2 Riyos maxed out, just so they can consistently stun the enemies. Ideally, want to upgrade them 5 seconds apart, so like if there is moving enemies, they'll be attacking at different times. But it's fine also if they attack at the same time. So let's get this up. Or also, I did put the foo on my albedo, but if you want, you can put the foo on your irons. But I just think having that extra spell for that full AoE nullify is quite helpful, you know, because you need a albedo to be attacking the same enemy as your affection units. So having that full AoE nullify just seems a lot more, just seems better in my opinion. You know what I mean? And yeah, let's go. What am I missing? Missing Alucard. 3 rows are down. Albedo will be on this. Why did? Oh, there we go on that Riyo. And yeah, let's just test. So let's put the spells on. So these two spells. And yeah, everything is fine. We're just missing Kafka, so we'll get Manipulator here, so Spider. And yeah, I'll put her right here. Alright, so let's just spawn Alpha. So we'll go with Alpha, and then I'll check a boss, and then yeah, we'll check with the acclamation equipped as well. Okay, let's go from right now. Okay, so initial Kafka damage was 600 million. Riyo, you can see she will detonate soon, because she needs to do, of course, a few attacks. And her detonation will be doing a lot of damage. So 400 million. These ones will take a bit longer to detonate, but that's all fine. You can see 700 million on this one. This one won't be detonating at all. It will take a bit longer to detonate. The next Kafka hit will be soon, so we'll see that one as well. Oh wait, this enemy is kind of too weak. I think I'm gonna kill it. Oh my days, no. But yeah, you can see Kafka here as well, and then of course the real nukes detonations are going crazy as well. We potentially might kill this boss, but I mean this enemy before flipping 60 seconds. So I'll just put the DPS for that on screen. So yeah, one more detonation and I'll probably be dead. It's been roughly nearly 60 seconds. So yeah, it's been 60 seconds now. Okay, so as you can see, it was roughly like 104.5 million DPS, and you have to factor in, yeah, since the enemy HP was kind of weak, which is my bad. It probably could have been a bit more DPS because maybe that final detonation would have done a bit more damage, but since the enemy was a bit too weak, it just killed it instantly. So let's just say like roughly like 107 million DPS for just an enemy, you know, just on an enemy, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, let's now test against the boss. So let's go. We'll spawn in. We'll change to Vegeta, and you would spawn the Vegeta in the same spot. So let's start it now. On 45. There we go. So you can see Kafka's initial 800 million. Riyo, let's see. I think this one should detonate first, so we'll see this one. How much damage? 600 million. This one should detonate next. Let's see. It'll probably at 800 million. And yeah, this one won't be detonating, so it's fine. But you can see I have my affections on this Riyo and this Riyo right here. Yeah, Kafka's next attack, I think that was there. 500 million. Riyo, I think I lost track on Riyo. I think I started, was that 45? I started at 45, right? So I'll wait until 45 again. But yeah, Riyo does so much damage for this team, it's so stupid. It's actually just such an absurd number. You can see how much damage this boss is taking. It's taking a lot, so we'll stop it at 45. And yeah, now. Okay, guys, so as you can see, against a boss, 7.84 million damage within 60 seconds. And yeah, roughly it's 130 million DPS. I think my calculator picked up like 130.666. So yeah, I just put 130 million DPS. Which is, yeah, it's crazy, you know. Yesterday we were hitting like 100 million DPS against the boss, and now we're on to 130 million against the boss. And that's just because of Riyo. Rio's doing so much. So yeah, you can see how crazy this team is. So now I'm gonna factor in acclamation, and we'll see the difference. And I'm pretty sure acclamation will make us lose damage, like the overall DPS, but we'll see if it does. So I'll put in acclamation, and you can see his base damage is of course a lot lower now. And yeah, we'll see how it goes. Okay, spoiling alpha again, we'll see how it goes. So initial Kafka nuke, I don't think I called that one. But you can see this one is not really detonating as much. It's mainly the two over here. But ideally you don't want to be detonating too often, because if you detonate too often, of course Kafka won't be nuking, because there'll be basically no bleeds for it to detonate. I mean, there'll be of course a few bleeds, but not as much as you want. But yeah, as you can see, damage is going crazy on this boss. But yeah, overall we have a lot less bleed damage, because of course 50% less damage is a lot. But yeah, we'll see how much damage it was over 60 seconds with acclamation equipped, and if it was better or worse. It probably will be worse, but I guess we'll find out, you know. So nearly 60 seconds, I think will be soon. Now. Okay, so now as you can see, against a regular mob, it was basically the same DPS. I think it was exactly the same, because if you do remember, in the first initial test, I did have a weaker enemy, so it would be the exact same DPS for 3 vowels or 2 vowels. So now let's test against a boss. So let's spawn in the boss and we'll see how it goes. So at 55, there you go. And yeah, we'll see how much damage you do. The reels are putting crazy work, mate. But yeah, when it hits 55 seconds, we'll see. And yeah, we stop it now. Let's see how much damage that was. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, with the against the boss, that was roughly like 7.3 million billion damage over 60 seconds, which is roughly 123.8 million DPS. And yeah, to pretty much just conclude, I'd say it's better just to run Val 4 and 5, because it is just more consistent. I know this part, it looks a bit lower than that one, but I'd like to say that the enemy was a lot weaker, because yeah, the enemy here, you can see the amount of damage we did in 60 seconds was of course more than this. Enemy was just a lot weaker, so the final Riyo nuke that did hit, final Riyo detonation that did hit, would have probably just killed it off. So, and did a bit more damage, so you wouldn't have seen that. But yeah, pretty much just consistently you want to use 4 and 5 just for just higher base damage on Sukuna, and of course the extra bleed damage, which of course helps Riyo and Kafka. So that's pretty much it for, of course, this segment of the video, and that wraps up the video. You know, if you guys got any questions, let me know. And a lot of you guys have been asking me for Limit Break 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos on those. Limit Break 2 is probably soloable. Limit Break 3, I don't think it is soloable. Limit Break 4 is of course not soloable. And Limit Break 5 is not soloable. And yeah, pretty much what people are doing for, of course, Limit Break 3, 4, and 5, what they are doing is pretty much just stalling as much as they can and just utilizing Choi and, of course, Escanor, just spamming on the boss. Of course, they have Finon, they're using Finon as well because of full map damage, so they're just stalling the enemies for the full map, let Finon do a lot of damage. They even use a Sukuna. There's a lot of things you can do with it, and I'll try to get videos out soon, or before the update. But no promises because like my flipping upload schedule is getting messed up because of course Rio dropped making this video, and then yesterday's video was of course there as well, and then potentially tomorrow I have to drop my tournament videos because it'll be Tuesday. So yeah, there's a lot going on, and I'll try and get the Limit Break videos out soon. But yeah, no promises. But yeah, I would say 2. I mean, the issue with Limit Break 2 is I'm pretty sure those bug abuse. You know, when Sukuna was bugged and he was doing like 300 million DPS on a group of enemies. So yeah, a lot of like Limit Break scores are like bugged scores. So yeah, they won't reset the brackets because I mean the scores because it's a irrelevant leaderboard. There's not really any like rewards attached to it, so they won't really reset them. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the video. If you enjoyed the video, like, subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.